Welcome back to Sideline NFL Super Bowl edition. That's right, the Super Bowl, the granddaddy of them all, Super Bowl 57. Thanks for sticking with us all season long. Remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment already. This episode is going to be a little different. Instead of going game by game, we're just going to get right into the Super Bowl, pre-game predictions, and then after, I'm going to go award by award and just give you my overall thoughts for the season in general. And to join me for that, to help me out, to give me the assist, the lob, the point guard, Sam Reed. Sam, how you doing?
I'm good, Matt. Thanks for having me on again.
Sam, I don't have to tell you this because you already know. You look fucking incredible. The flannel, the jeans, got a little scruff going. You came to play today, and I appreciate it.
I mean, that's coming from you, Matt. You just got a haircut. I got to say it looks sharp. I mean, the ladies better watch out.
I mean, we're just two great-looking guys here, you know?
You know.
What goes on off camera goes on. All right. The Super Bowl, Sam. A big-time matchup. We get the Philadelphia Eagles versus the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, Sam, I'd just like to say this matchup, I think it could go either way. I think it's truly a 50-50 matchup, and I think if you don't have a dog in the fight, you know, it's not the Patriots, it's not Tom Brady. That's all you can hope for as a fan is a good, entertaining game. The Chiefs have been here before with Mahomes. This is his third appearance, which is impressive for his 6-year starting. He's won one, he's lost one, so this is going to determine a win or losing record in the Super Bowl. Then on the other side, you got the Eagles. First time they've been back since Nick Foles, that team in 2018-2019 season. They're looking for their second chip in 6 years. Great defense, dynamic offense. Jalen Hurts leading that squad. Truly a pick'em game. Cool storylines on each side. Sam, I'll just ask you, general thoughts going into this game. Do you like this matchup, or what's your mindset?
I do like this matchup. It was not the one that I initially intended for.
Neither did I.
We were both, Bengals, 49ers fans.
I
but
do
obviously,
I think both teams kind of got screwed.
Yeah, they did get screwed, but I mean, what can you do?
Nothing.
You can't do anything now. The matchup's set. It was predetermined. And now we get this matchup, Juggernaut versus Patty Mahomes, the face of the NFL.
There you go.
It should be a great matchup. We're in store for a classic, hopefully. I'm just hoping the refs don't play a big part in this one.
Eat the whistle. Don't call anything unless it's egregious. I mean, the worst possible thing would be we're watching the Super Bowl and everyone on Twitter, you go into work the next day, everyone's talking about the refs. You don't want that. It's a good reffing game if you don't talk about them.
Well, the biggest thing, Matt, is I did see today that Carl Chevers, the head official, he and his crew are going to be doing this game.
Okay.
And for the last 2 years, he has called the most penalties per game in the NFL, averaging about 12 per game.
That's not good.
So just saying, there may be a lot of yellow flags flying in this one.
That's not good. Now, Sam, one of the most interesting storylines to me, I think, is Patrick Mahomes, because he has that bum ankle. He looked pretty good against Cincinnati, but not great. That and the Chiefs have a lot of injuries. Tony and Juju Smith-Schuster did not practice all this week. They'll have a chance to practice. They have another week off, luckily. Mecole Hardman, he's likely not going to play. Kansas City's banged up. Those guys may play, may not be 100%. Does that factor into your pick at all, or how do you think the game's going to go?
Not at all, Matt.
Okay.
I mean, going into this year, losing Tyreek Hill, I thought that'd be a big impact to this offense. But as far as we know, Patty Mahomes did it on his own. He had Travis Kelce as his number one option, got it done. You'd think teams would learn to double cover him, even triple cover him, take him out of the equation, but he still ate. He got his own. And the other guys like Smith-Schuster, Valdez-Scantling, they took big jumps this year. They were very developed this year in this offense, new playbook for them. Yeah. And I got to say, this team, when they're firing, when on all cylinders, when they're healthy, they're scary.
Sam, I agree with that. When they're firing on all cylinders, they're scary, and it's because of Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. With that said, I am a bit concerned because last time the Chiefs won the Super Bowl, Mahomes was running for his life against Tampa Bay. He had no time to throw, and the Eagles' defense is tenacious. I think we're going to know really quick how that ankle is and how the offensive line is going to hold up in this game. And I think that's crucial because if Juju doesn't play or the other one, Kadarius Toney, I mean, Mahomes is going to have to get rid of the ball quick. So I think that could be a big factor.
I think the difference in this one is the Chiefs do have an upgraded O-line. They did get Joe Tooney, and then they also have Brown, who they got from the
Orlando
Ravens.
Brown, good players.
2 very good offensive linemen. have definitely played a big role in the reason why Patty Mahomes has had a successful year so far. And I do think it's going to be the difference in this one. If they're able to stop that Eagles front seven from getting to Patty Mahomes, then I think they do stand a very good chance in this one.
I also think it's interesting, Mahomes legacy-wise, obviously he has a ton of football left to play, and his legacy is not going to be defined by this one game. But he loses another one. You know, we got there, lost to Tampa Bay. Last year they got upset. A lot of people picking him in this game. Like, if he goes and has, like, a dud game, like, does the narrative start to shift on him, or what do you think about that?
No, I would just say he definitely needs to keep proving himself further, because I think a lot of people are just going to undermine him, be like, oh, you know, he didn't have the weapons around him. But that's not really a fair argument, because he made it this far with the weapons that he had. So, you know, if you're that good of a player, you're just going to continue to prove people wrong, right?
I agree. I mean, part of being an all-time great quarterback is you make the players around you better. You elevate. You know what I mean? So I agree with that. I don't think this game shapes his narrative, but it'll be interesting to see if they do lose and he doesn't play great, if that's what people are talking about.
Definitely.
Now, let's go over to Philly. Philadelphia are scumbags. No, they're lovable scumbags because they're passionate. I respect them. I hate them, and they're scumbags, but I respect them. There's a difference. Like, I don't respect LA fans. They're a bunch of... I don't respect LA fans because I think they're fake fans, but Philly fans are diehards. I mean, they threw snowballs at Santa Claus, you know? It's just what they do. They deserve it. I mean, they're such diehard fans. They have a really good defense. Coach Sirianni, he's an animated guy. I really like Jalen Hurts. He's a quiet kind of, you know, good leader, you know, stays calm. A.J. Brown, skinny Batman. How do you think the Eagles are going to shape up?
I think they're definitely the best team in the NFL for this very reason.
They lost one game. I'm sorry, just one game. Jalen Hurts as a starter. They lost one game.
I mean, he's had an incredible season. This team in general has been incredible. Even Lane Johnson, he got hurt prior to the...
I don't like him.
Well, I'm just saying, he got hurt prior. He's playing with I think it's a torn ACL or something like that.
Yeah, he's been playing with it all year.
And basically, he said he's going to tough it out for this playoff run, hopefully bring home the Super Bowl to Philly. So I got to give them props. You know, they're tough, they're gritty, they're in it to win it. That's been their goal all year. They're just more like, you know, we're not really going to talk shit. We're just going to show you up on the field.
Now, Sam, if you're Philadelphia, do you come out to Dreams and Nightmares by Meek Mill, or do you come out to Just Wanna Rock by Lose? What's your pregame song?
I think you got to do Dreams and Nightmares, but Meek Mill has to you them out on the
field.
You
want Meek Mill out there?
Absolutely. Okay. I think that's the biggest game changer right there.
What if Sly comes out? You know, the dude going the distance?
I don't know. That may not do it for me.
Okay, wow.
Yeah.
Sam.
I think Dreams and Nightmares is the ultimate kind of, you know, get hyped.
See, that song was ruined for me when they beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl. They went out to that.
Yeah.
All right, Sam, before I ask you your game pick, who are you rooting for?
I'm rooting for Kansas City.
Okay. Really?
Yeah.
Do you mind if I ask why?
Well, Matt, I hate Philly with a passion.
Okay.
I had a roommate in college that was a big Philly sports guy.
I slept in his bed.
They're everywhere.
Not with him, just he was away. He was away. He happened to be away.
Yeah, you just wanted to clarify that.
Great guy. He let me stay in his room. That was awesome. Dude, that was a crazy night. We'll talk about that another time.
Shout out to Ryan. Appreciate you, brother. But,
shout out Carly, Caroline, and Maddie.
I hopefully think that Philly loses this one because it would be the greatest thing to happen because I fucking hate Philly fans with a passion.
So you're rooting for Kansas City purely out of spite for Philadelphia?
Yeah.
Okay. I am reluctantly rooting for Philadelphia because I don't dislike Mahomes or Andy Reid or Chiefs. I'm sick of hearing about them. I don't want Mahomes to keep racking up rings. Reluctantly, I'm rooting for Philly because of the other team. Not because I like them, because I want to see the other team lose. Mm-hmm. And I also respect Jalen Hurts. I like the players on Philly. Hurts, A.J. Brown, skinny Batman. It's more of the city and the people that I dislike.
Well, that's where I'm at, too. Like, I like Hurts and Brown and those guys, but the fans are the reason why I don't want them to win. All
right, now let me get your actual pick. Give me your game pick. Reed, who's he picking?
I'm taking Kansas City.
Oh, wow.
Just like I said. And I'll go into more detail later in the show.
Okay, Sam, I'm going to differ. I think it's truly a 50-50. Like, I think Kansas City could easily win. I'm going to choose Philly. I think it's their year. They have one loss without Hurts. I think the offense is dynamic. I think they can hang with Kansas City. I think their defense is better. And Kansas City's banged up. Philadelphia, they play fast. They're physical. They got a bunch of playmakers. They're going to be tough to beat, man. And I don't know. I feeling it. I like the Eagles. But like you said, I mean, if Mahomes gets hot, anything could happen.
Absolutely.
All right, Sam, before we get into awards, let's talk about the halftime a little bit. I mean, this is why I'm watching. Now, Sam, Rihanna, bad girl. She's a bad bitch, Rihanna.
Absolutely.
She's great.
One of the best to ever do it.
Bad girl. She's going to be the halftime show. I'm very excited. I think we all agree the best halftime show ever was for Shakira and J-Lo. I mean, you can watch that on mute. It's still the best halftime show ever. It's good stuff.
There was movement.
There was a lot of them. I had to go in the other room. Last year's was good. You had Dr. Dre, Snoop, Eminem, K-Dot, Mary J. Blige. And this year's a lot. I mean, everyone loves Bad Girl Riri. Sam, what song do you want to see Rihanna do? Anyone you wanted to bring out? Maybe the Six God, Drake. What are you most looking forward to?
Yeah, no, I would love it if Drake came out to play one of their classics, Matt.
That would be nice. What's My Name, maybe?
Yeah, What's My Name?
Nah. Now, Sam, does she do S&M? It's a very sexual song.
But I feel like that'd be one of your favorites if she did play that.
I'd be in for that.
And she's dancing, you know what I mean? Giving the camera.
Now, dude, I know she would never bring out Kanye, for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
But what if she did? She just all the lights are out. It's black, and then she starts all of the lights, and then they turn on. Bam, bam,
I'm surprised they don't have you directing the halftime show.
Dude, it's probably good, if I didn't direct the halftime show. It'd be a rated R pro or X17? Is that what they call it?
NC-17.
NC-17. It'd be, it'd be dicey, but
It's
no.
definitely not PG.
Give me Drake. Give me one song with Drake. Give me Drake to come on,
That's what I'm saying,
What's
man.
My Name? Only Girl in the World. Bring on Slim Shady. Just play the hits.
You need to. You got to throw it back to when things were great.
Pawn the Replay. Mm-hmm. Diamonds. I mean, fucking how many bangers does she have? Only Girl in the World.
She threw out a bunch.
Disturbia. Sam.
During that
Darkness
period,
and the Light.
She threw out a bunch.
I mean, she was her.
I mean, she was.
She
still is.
She's the best. Yeah. All right. Let's get into the award season. The other stuff. Award prediction. Sam, was a great, football season. I was joined by you for most of it.
Yep.
So I'll give you my pick.
Okay.
Who I think deserves each award, and we can have a little dialogue. We'll talk about, see what you think, if you agree with it. Okay.
Yeah.
First award, the big one, the MVP, most valuable player. Personally, I picked Patrick Mahomes. I think he just had the best season. There are a couple other guys you can make an argument for. Joe Burrow. I think Jalen Hurts is probably the other one. Maybe even Josh Allen. They went 13-4. They were the number one seed. Tons of touchdowns, tons of yards. I mean, he did it all year. They lost Tyreek Hill. He was still the man, and I just think he had the best overall season for any quarterback.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with this pick. I also had him as the MVP award winner this year. He threw for over 5,200 yards through the air, despite losing Tyreek Hill, which is impressive as
he had a lot of guys
itself.
in and out of the lineup, too, other than Kelsey.
Yep. He threw for 41 touchdowns. That was first in the NFL as well. His QBR is 77.5, first in the NFL. He had a 67% completion percentage, which was very good.
It's good stuff.
One of his best years.
All right.
And he also had an additional 350 yards on the ground as well.
I mean, he was the best player on the best team.
Could do it all.
He can do it all.
Jack of all trades, master of none.
I think he deserves it. He'll start racking them up.
Absolutely. He's won.
Yeah, he's already won one.
Yeah,
He'll start racking them up like Rodgers.
I'd say
and Peyton
he probably finishes with about maybe 4.
Yeah, I think that's a good bet. All right, Sam, next award, we have the Offensive Rookie of the Year. Couple different guys you could go here. I picked Garrett Wilson, wide receiver, New York Jets. Could say Kenneth Walker. Could say Chris Olave. But I like Garrett Wilson. I think he had a really good year. Broke the rookie Jets receiving records. And I just think just the eye test. He was nice. He came in the league, made an immediate impact. I really like Garrett Wilson. What do you think?
So I do like Garrett Wilson as well. However, he is not my pick to win the award. So I actually went with Kenneth Walker.
Oh, I drafted him.
Now, the reason why I picked Kenneth Walker over Garrett Wilson is just because the impact that he made to this Seattle team. He definitely was a big game changer because he did start the season as their primary running back.
Shot Penny.
He was the backup to Penny for the first couple weeks until Penny went down. And then nobody thought, this kid was going to make an immediate impact. He comes in his second game, and he rushes for 160 yards on the ground, which is truly incredible. So he finished this year in the top 12 in attempts, yards, and touchdowns, which I think that's very impressive for a rookie, despite not playing in the first couple weeks of the season.
I mean, he was by far the best rookie running back. By far, like you said, made an immediate impact for a playoff team. I think him, Garrett Wilson, or Kenneth Walker, those are the two options. Olave had a good season, but I think these guys are cut above.
Yeah, definitely. I'd say either Walker or Wilson's going to take home this award.
I would have picked Walker. I know he missed a few games. That's why I gave the nod to Wilson, but I think either one could easily win.
Can't go wrong with either.
Cannot go wrong. All right, Sam. Next award, we got the Defensive Rookie of the Year. For this award, I went with Sauce Gardner, cornerback, New York Jets from Cincinnati. Sam, this guy was fucking unbelievable. Not only is he defensive rookie, he was first-team All-Pro. I mean, people voted him as one of the 2 best cornerbacks in the entire league. He was shut down all year. Everyone tried him. He went up against the best receivers. He played really well. I mean, he's going to be a franchise corner. They're talking like Revis Part 2. He was unbelievable. Who do you got? What do you think?
So I think Sauce Gardner is definitely a well-deserving pick, especially for when he was coming out of college. Like, he was regarded as one of the top DBs in that draft
He's like
class.
4th pick overall.
And then, obviously, he puts on this type of season, so it's definitely a well-deserved honor for him. However, I'm going to go a little bit different route from you. I went with Aiden Hutchinson for the Detroit Lions.
He had a good season, too.
I thought he put up a great season, so these were the numbers that he finished with. So he had 52 tackles, 34 of them were solos, 9.5 sacks, and 2 fumble recoveries, plus 3 picks.
Wow.
Which is very impressive for an edge rusher.
I will say, he was when Detroit went on that end of the season run and he was a huge part of that. I feel like he really came on at the end of the season, and I think he had a really, really good year too. I think Detroit's going to feel good about him going forward.
He made a very big difference for that Detroit defense, that front D-line, because, without him bringing pressure constantly to the opposing QBs and the running backs, making it hard for them to get through the holes and whatnot. Without him, this Detroit defense is probably not even close to being worth a mention at all. So this is why I think he deserves this honor, because he was a big part of their reason why they almost made the playoffs.
He was a definite difference maker.
Absolutely.
All right. Next award, we have the Offensive Player of the Year. Sam, for this, I went with Justin Jefferson, Jay Jetta, wide receiver, Minnesota Vikings. He led the league in receiving, almost cracked 2,000 yards. I mean, he was clearly the number 1 best receiver in the league. They usually give this award to a non-quarterback. That's why I didn't go with the quarterback, usually running back or wide receiver. I think non-quarterback, he was by far the best offensive player in the league. What do you think?
Yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory. I also have Jay Jetta in this spot as well. So he had 128 catches, 1,800 yards, which were both first in the NFL. He has continued to prove each season since he's coming in the league. And, I mean, it's just incredible.
He's on track to be a Hall of Famer. He's unbelievable.
It's like literally next year he's on pace to break 2,000 yards receiving and put up over 130 catches, which is just astronomical, with Kirk Cousins as his QB. So just think about it. If he had a top 12 QB, the sky is the limit for this kid. I
mean, like you said, he led the league in receptions, led him in yards. He almost cracked 2,000 yards. I mean, you talk about a fucking game changer. I mean, some of the catches he made, that fucking Buffalo game, I mean, he willed them back. The Indianapolis game, he's incredible.
He broke numerous records for the Vikings franchise. So the catches in a season, yards in a season, breaking Chris Carter and Randy Moss.
I was going to say, those some legit guys, records he broke.
And then he also single game receiving yard record as well against Detroit with 223 yards. I mean, which is just nuts.
He's insane, and he's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
All right. Next award, we know Sam loves defense. The Defensive Player of the Year. I went with Nick Bosa, 49ers. The reason I went with him is because he led the league with sacks. Unless there's a shutdown corner, kind of like a Gilmore, like a Josh Norman type of year. I feel like these guys generally get it if someone gets a lot of sacks. I think he was the best player for maybe the best defense in the league. Niners were shutdown defense. He had 18.5 sacks, impact player. He does it all. I like Nick Bosa.
So I do like that pick as well. I think he's my second favorite to win the award, but if he does win it, I won't get upset. But my favorite to win this award is actually Chris Jones for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Can't get mad at that.
Now, the reason why I like this pick is because he arguably had his best season of his career. He did tie his career high in sacks this year with 15.5. It's 4th best in the league. He had 2 forced fumbles, 1 fumble recovery, and 44 tackles. He played a pivotal role, especially in their playoff run, having 2 sacks against Cincy in their recent AFC title game victory. So I think, without Chris Jones in this defensive front, I don't think this KC defense is actually, worthwhile a mention of saying they're a top defensive unit in the league.
He was unbelievable. He was all pro, and I think you saw it against Cincinnati last week. I mean, he's a fucking game wrecker.
Absolutely. He's definitely a game changer. Same with Nick Bosa, too. Can't go wrong with either of those two.
They're both unbelievable. All right, last player award, comeback player of the year. I gave this to Geno Smith. There are a couple guys you could go with. I went with Geno. I mean, I don't think anyone saw this coming. He's been in the league about 10 years now. Career backup. Had a little stint starting with the Jets, but primarily career backup. Everyone thought Seattle was going to be one of the worst teams in the league. They were going to tank. Geno Smith had a Pro Bowl type season. He was legitimately amazing. I don't know if he led the league in completion percentage. He might have. He was unbelievable. He took the fucking Seahawks with almost no one. No one expected anything out of him. 2 to the playoffs. He surprised everyone. I love Geno Smith for this award. I know you have someone else, and I like who you have too.
So that's a great pick, Matt. I totally agree. He definitely rejuvenated his career by going to Seattle in the offseason and actually competing for the starting job, which he ended up getting.
He's going to get a nice contract.
And obviously led this team that, a lot of people undermined to begin the year, but he led them to a playoff position. However, they did get bounced early in the wild card, but that's okay.
It's okay.
I mean, he proved a lot of people wrong, and I think there's big things to come in the future for Geno.
Nice.
But my pick is actually Saquon Barkley. I think after having another down year last year, his first year back from injury, tearing his ACL, I thought he played very, very well this year. He was a pivotal part of this Giants offensive unit and a big reason why they ended up making the playoffs and actually winning on the road in Minnesota during the wild card round. So he finished 4th in attempts, 4th in rushing yards, 9th in touchdowns, and he also had an additional 330 receiving yards.
I mean, I like that pick. A lot of people had written off Saquon, like he's washed, he's done. He came back, he was vintage Saquon, and he was the best player for a playoff Giants team. I mean, he rolled that team to the playoffs. I really like that pick.
Definitely.
All right, last award we have here. We have Coach of the Year. There are a lot of guys you could go with this one. Doug Peterson, Nick Sirianni, Kyle Shanahan. I went with Brian Daboll. He's so cute. You only just want to hug him, right? Rub his head. The reason I went with Brian Daboll is because, dude, he took Daniel Jones and the New York Giants to the playoffs. They stunk. With Joe Judge, they were miserable. They had like 4 wins every fucking year. Daniel Jones looked like a bum. He got the most out of Jones. He got the most out of Saquon. He got the most out of that offense with a million injuries at wide receiver. And he took them to the playoffs, and they're a representative playoff team. They even got a win versus Minnesota. I think Daboll's deserving, but I think all the other guys I'm mentioning are deserving as well.
Definitely. I do like the Daboll pick. He's definitely either my second or third favorite for this award, but my favorite to win the award is Doug Peterson. Now, the reason why I like this pick is because the Jags were absolutely terrible last year. They were arguably the worst team in the league.
They're bad.
They finished with a record of 3-14. This year, they turned it around. They went 9-8, and then they ended up winning in the wild card round against the Chargers, which was a big game for them because they were down 27 points in that one, Matt.
Wow.
It was one of the largest comebacks in recent history.
I was at your house when that happened.
I know. I still couldn't believe it. Wow. It was like you took a nap because you're like, oh, this game's over at halftime, down 27. And then you wake up and then the fucking game's over and somehow they pulled it off.
Crazy.
But no, this Jags team is definitely going to be talked about for the next couple years. Trevor Lawrence has showed this year with Doug Peterson as his coach that he could be a top 5 QB in the next year or two. And I don't know, he really rejuvenated this Jags team, so that's why I really like the pick of Doug Peterson.
No, I mean, that's a great, I mean, he turned around a shit franchise, and they look like they might be dangerous a couple of years, so I like that pick a lot. All right, next we're going to turn it to everyone's favorite segment. Everyone tunes in every week, get their pencils ready, go on their websites. It's Best Bets, Super Bowl edition with Sam Reed.
How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Best Bets. I do apologize for not being here last week or 2 weeks ago because I was on a trip and we didn't have time to do Best Bets while I was MIA from the show. But we're back this week. We're coming back at you live with the Super Bowl picks for Best Bets. So, we want to make some money. It's the big game. Might as well make some money while we're at it. So before we get into it, I just want to let you guys know a quick disclaimer that I am in no means a professional handicapper. So please bet responsibly and only bet money that you can only afford to lose. All right. Now, let's get into it. So my first best bet of the Super Bowl is the Chiefs on the money line at plus 105 odds. Now, the reason why I like this play is because 54% of the bets have been placed on this side. 70% of the bets have been placed on Philly spread of minus 1.5. Now, the reason why I like this play a lot is because I don't think Philly has been tested all year. They've had one of the easiest schedules in the NFL. They played two easy teams in their route to get to this game by defeating Daniel Jones and the Giants, and then they faced a quarterbackless 49ers team because Brock Purdy got hurt on the first drive, and they played the fourth-string Josh Johnson, who is a bag of chips, who ended up getting hurt as well, so it didn't really make a difference. They were without a quarterback. But I feel like Kansas City is going to bring a lot of pressure. They're one of the few teams in the league that likes to blitz on a lot of their defensive plays. And I think that Chris Jones in this front unit is going to bring a lot of pressure. And Jalen Hurts, we haven't really seen him under a ton of pressure during the season. So I think this Kansas City unit is going to drop a lot of blitzing opportunities. And when they do and they're able to get to Jalen Hurts, I don't think he's going to handle it very well. So that's why I like KC in this one over Philly. Now we're going to turn it over to the second best bet for the Super Bowl, which is my coin toss bet. So this one happens before the game starts. You get the two teams, the captains, lining up at the center of the field, and you get to choose whether or not the coin toss of the game is going to be heads or tails. It's, a 50-50 kind of play, in your opinion. You either like heads or you like tails. In my opinion, I like heads. Now, the numbers say that 7 out of the last 13 coin tosses dating back to 2010 in Super Bowl 44 between the Saints and Indy has been heads. So in short term, heads is the way to be. But if we're looking long term, tails has the advantage. 13 of the last 23 coin tosses have resulted in tails. But the reason why I like heads in this one is because the last time back-to-back heads and back-to-back Super Bowls hit, it usually ends up being heads for the next 3 to 4 opportunities that the coin toss comes around. So that is why I like heads. Don't overthink it. Just take heads. Short term, heads is the better option. Now, my third and final best bet of the Super Bowl is the Gatorade color, which is yellow-green at plus 300 odds. Now, the reason why I like this play is because the last time Philly won the Super Bowl against New England, the color of the Gatorade happened to be yellow. Now, many have the argument, why didn't you go with blue? Blue's been the hot one. 3 out of the last 4 has been blue. The only one that was different was when the Chiefs won the Super Bowl, it was orange. I'm not really sure why it would be orange. I feel like they would be more of a red or a yellow type if they were to win this one. So that's why I want to go with yellow in this one, because it kind of favors both teams. You got the yellow-green because Philly's green. They could go with yellow because yellow does taste better than green. And then also for KC, if they want to represent their own colors, yellow is part of their outfit, their uniform. So that is why you got to go with green and yellow in this opinion. Now, my fourth and final best bet, which is the last resort parlay, which is what everybody loves. Make a little bit more money by placing a little less money. It's always a great thing. So we got Dallas Goedert to score an anytime touchdown. Isaiah Pacheco to score an anytime touchdown. Patrick Mahomes over 274.5 passing yards. And Devontae Smith over 59 receiving yards. And that's plus 1,100 odds. Guys, if you throw $10 on that, you would return $110 back. Seems like a no-brainer, right? Because think about it. Dallas Goedert, he's a big red zone target. Hurts is always looking for him whenever they get down in that area. You got KC with Isaiah Pacheco. They haven't really been inside the 5-yard line, but I see them getting inside the 5-yard line a couple times in this game. So when they do, they're going to hand it off to Pacheco, and he's going to run it in. Patty Mahomes is going to have more than several opportunities to hit this number of 274.5 passing yards in this game, because I feel like if they're not able to establish the run early, he's going to have to throw longer yards to get to the sticks, and what that means is more yards are going to accumulate for him. I think Patrick Mahomes is going to have a big game, and this number should crack easily. And I also like Devontae Smith over his receiving yard total of 59 because he has been Jalen Hurts' favorite target in the playoffs so far. He has led the team in receiving in both of their playoff games so far. And even to finish the regular season, he's hit this number in 7 out of the last 9 games he's played in. So it's a no-brainer. You should definitely bet on the last resort parlay. Throw a little bit of money on this. You could walk away with a big payday for you. But guys, I just want to say thank you for tuning in to Best Bets yet again. It's great to be back here. Hopefully we can win some money, but more importantly, I hope you enjoy the game with friends and family. And now, let's turn it over to Matt for the final word.
Yeah, we don't care about money. We just care about having a good time. That's what it's all about. It doesn't, if you lose your house, as long as you had fun, right? No, Sam, thank you so much for that. I think we're all going to miss Best Bets. I really like those bets. I like how Sam went with head. You can never go wrong with head. Head is good. Always pick head. Next week, Super Bowl. And that'll be our last show next week. Very sad, but, all good things must come to an end. And that includes Sidelined, NFL edition. However, we got some things in the works. We got some, we're cooking up a little bit. You can put the crock pot on. You wait a little bit. Wait and see. We'll get more into that next week, but come back next week. We're going to review the Super Bowl. Sam will be back in studio. I'll be back. We'll be talking Eagles, talking Chiefs. I'll tell you what else we got going on coming up. Like, subscribe, leave a comment. We'll see you soon. All right. That's it.